Hello guys, my name is Raza Masood. Today we will discuss that what is basically PCI compliance. Friends, this is a very common term in payment industry and fintech, and you definitely heard this topic or this term PCI or PCI compliance. So, what is basically a PCI compliance and what is the purpose of PCI? So, guys, let's start our tutorial. PCI compliance. PCI is stand for Payment Card Industry. Payment Card Industry stand for PCI. Guys, the bigger name card brands in our industry like Visa, Mastercard, American Express, Discover, they have basically made some rules or guidelines to establish a security rules for all types of merchant of any size to avoid any type of fraudulent activity and to accept a card properly. Guys, in simple terms, just remember that basically these bigger names, these card brands basically made some rules and guidelines for merchants. Merchant means like they are basically selling their goods, so through POS devices. So they have made some guidelines through which they can avoid the fraudulent activities. Guys, you definitely knows that in nowadays fraudulent activities are it's a very common thing, and very big stores, very big names, they have become they have faced the fraudulent activities. So basically these are the guidelines, these are the standards, and these are the standard procedures to avoid these are the standard security rules to avoid the fraudulent activities. So what are the basically standard rules? These are the standard rules for merchants or which are basically selling their goods through POS devices, so that there should not be any fraudulent activity. And to get the PCI compliance certificate, there are some guidelines, there are some standards. First one is the unique ID. Like whoever is basically the system, the banking system or interacting with the bank information or card information, they should have here the unique IDs. They should not use the shared IDs. Like I cannot use your ID and you cannot use my ID. I should have a unique ID to use the banking information system, which are basically interacting with the card brands or card information system. Secondly, the passwords of the IDs should be complex. It should not be a very easy password, like should not be based on my name and my relative name, etc. It should be a very complex password. It should not be read easily. The transactions should be encrypted. Like whatever the transaction throwing from the system, it should be encrypted. It should not be easily accessible. It should be properly, the transactions should be encrypted. Then the restricted access means that the any person who is basically interacting with the banking information system or any information system who is accessing the card brand's information, it should have restricted access. Like it should not be access to everything. Then the need to know basis that every person should have the information whichever it is basically required, which is basically he needs it. Like for example, if there are 10 things, 10 information is available, so if a person needs only 2 information, that it should be only given 2 things, not the all the 10 things. And then the policies and procedures should be written or documented properly. These are the guidelines which is necessary for the PCI compliance certificate. Then if a merchant is using the softwares or computer, then it is necessary that he should use the firewall, should use the antivirus, and he should properly scan the system from the third party. It is very necessary. Guys, remember that the PCI compliance is basically stand for PCI DSS as well. PCI DSS means data security standard for PCI. So guys, these are the very basic rules of PCI. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel and also share it with your friends and colleagues. Thank you. Thanks a lot.